Hi and welcome back to MDriven. So this is the third episode of me building TakeCareMobile SaaS system in an area which I'm not familiar at all. So I was wondering about the caretakers. What kind of attributes would I need? That's a lot of things. So let's do it like this. I'm gonna add caretaker, and that should be an associate to the healthcare provider company. So this is basically the client. And I'm gonna do a new diagram, I think. I'm gonna do diagram 2 caretakers. I'm gonna try a bit of vibing here. I'm gonna think about this, just see what I get. That wasn't too shabby, I think. Let's see, just save this if I get any errors. I didn't. It also did some UIs for me. Let's see what those are. It's a take care value store, or a caretaker value store rather. Okay, let's try and run this then. So this won't work because I just don't want to make a caretaker that isn't really associated to the current company. So the current company is something that we really want to track. Which company we have the logged in user has chosen to work with. Basically what we had here, this arrow here. I can't remember what I did here, so I'm gonna select this to see what I did. Oh, this is singleton, current user, current company. There's a current company that we assign. So basically, if we were to create a new caretaker, we want to associate it to the user's current company, right? Let's see. Where is this created? Change by, new caretaker in action, and memory fails, but it said I can just, there were two actions like this. I'm gonna find the other one. That was the one that I did, but I thought there were two. This one. Okay, let's see what's going on. This seems like a class action. Okay. Just gonna rename this so I get a feel for why I see this two times. I can't figure that one out. One thing I see here is that the visit log is pointing out a professional and not a staff. So what's the difference? Well, if we pull on a staff user here and watch the auto diagram for staff user, that's a link object between user and healthcare provider company. So that would be better to link it to a staff user instead of a login like that. So I'm going to change this one to go to that one instead, but in order to do because this only moves, but when I press Control I can just move it like that. That would be better for me. Okay, yeah, let's see if get some help. One thing is that I really think that words matter, and I call this staff user, but healthcare professionals might be more to the point. And since I've said that I'm gonna listen to the AI in this case, I really would like to rename this from staff user to healthcare professional. And I got an error here on where the rename didn't fully grasp what I did, like that. And then search for staff probably should be more like search for professionals, and this action probably should be add professionals, and this seeker probably should be, I'm going to see if I use the word staff anywhere else here on this link, but that's fine. It's the from the healthcare provider company to the user, right? So what I want to know now is what kind of tributes to a healthcare professional, something like that. And so if this is my main diagram, I might want to pull in the diagram too for caretakers here as well, so I can jump to it easy. Then I'm gonna create a new, I'm gonna call that L, like that, pull that diagram in as well. I'm gonna pull out the class like that. So why I do these things in a new diagram is because the vibing should be isolated to a specific section. And how this vibe actually works is that it looks at the diagram it started from. So it checks all the existing classes on that diagram and tries to make sense of what the plan is. This isn't too shabby. Maybe I should have pulled in the company as well here, and also the user, so I can get the association. So I see that this is really a link object. So this one is the same as this, and this is totally fine that the diagram can show the class multiple times. It's just a diagram, it's just a visualization. So I'm gonna rename this to overview mobile. So when I've got all these classes definitions, and it's really hard to be sure what it all means and if it is makes sense until you have some data in it. And that would be quite a chore to try to fill this with test data. So one approach would be to try to ask the debugger to take one of my diagrams like this and create some test data. So this also is good to have context-full diagrams, because then you can feed those into the Viber for demo data. So it says, comes back and says there are 34 dirty objects. I can choose to save these or not. It's up to me. I can check what it did. So if I were to, so these are just on the root. If I double click, I can see this particular one is an address in United Kingdom. Bleachley. I don't know where that is. This one then is an incident report. Oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna save this. And then I'm gonna do some demo data for the healthcare professionals as well. It came back with 65 objects. This one is a performance review. That one is linked to a healthcare professional. Good. Oh, his name is Hippocrates. That's good. Good. I'm gonna save this. Let's see how it looks in runtime. So I got these two, Alan Turing and Marie Curie. So those are caretakers. These are the ones that I created myself. But so this is Dr. Elizabeth Blackwell. So what's shown in this grid is probably the first attribute. So we can easily change that on a healthcare professional. That's probably the as string of healthcare professional. So what we're going to do on a healthcare professional, the default string representation should probably be self dot, and do we have a name, the full name, and then we can argue going forward if the full name actually is an attribute on healthcare professional, or if it is the name of the user which it is associated to. I'm going to leave that for later. Resave that, and this shows the name of the person instead. Quite funny. I'm gonna round off here. Did some vibing to detail the healthcare professionals and the caretakers. Good. Stay tuned and ask some comments, or do comments on YouTube, please. And can I have a like? I would be happy. Thank you.